Okay, so for tonight's lessons, we're going to look a little bit more at function and domain. Function is a relationship that assigns exactly one output value for every one input value. And we've talked a little bit about that. Basically, what we're saying is a function has for every x, there is a y value in our coordinates, right? That makes it a relationship. There's an x and a y. However, when we have multiple values, we have to make sure that the x value is only using the 2 once. If this was a 2, it would not be a function. It'd just be a relation, okay? So we're looking at those x values. The x value is the domain, and if it's a function, the domain number cannot repeat, okay? So we've talked about domain a bit, and just a reminder, it's the numbers that are the input of the function. It's the independent variable. It's the x value, okay? And so that's just a little review. Skip this and go to here. A relation is a function. So a relation means there's an x value for every y value. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 4 x's and 4 y's. So that means there's an x that matches up with a y, so it's a relation. And then if we look at the domain, none of these numbers repeat. We only have 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Therefore, this example is an example of a function. So if we look at our x and y values, 5, 6, 7, and 8, none of these the same. So I already know that this is a function. The y's can repeat. It doesn't really matter what those are. Okay, just needs to make sure that the x's are the same. If we look at this function here, if I can move that over, I'm sure my head is in the way here, but for our x's, we have 5, 7, 15, 23. Now I can see right here already that because I have 15 in here twice, this is not a function. We can just call it a, remember we use FCN for function. We'll just call it a relation, which means it makes a graph, but it's not a function, okay? Then we get into evaluating functions. This is going to be the new part for tonight. We've already talked about the f of x. The f of x is the y value, okay? And we can call it the function of x, which is y. And then we have 3x minus 5. So this is going to be your problem. And it wants us to evaluate it for f of 5, or the function of 5. So you can look here, we have f of x, right? We have f of x. You can see the 5 is in the x position. So what this wants you to do is replace x with 5. So just as they have here, we have f of 5 instead of f of x. We have 3 instead of x, we're going to place the 5 in there, and then minus 5. So 3 times 5 is 15, minus 5 is 10. So f of 5 equals 10, okay? So the function of 5 is 10. So basically, you're going to take this value and plug it in for x. So let's do this example. We have b of x. So we have the function of x and b. 3x minus 8. So again, like I told you before, if it helps, just put this over like this. And we can see that 5 is in the x position. So I want to know what b of 5 is for this function. So I go through and I put 6. Now instead of x, I'm going to replace that with 5. So we have 6 times 5 minus 8. Okay? So b of 5 equals 6 times 5, which is 30, minus 8. And so we have b of 5 is 22. And if I wanted to check and see this is right, I would know that b of 5 is 22, so we just go back and recheck our work. 6 times 5 is 30, 30 minus 8 is 22, we're good to go. So that's saying that this is 22. So if you want to double check, you could solve for x there. All right, so I would like for you to solve this problem. I don't think you can see that. It's supposed to be g of 2. So I would like you on your own to solve this example for g of 2 and come in with that answer. So just to recap, we have functions. Functions are your x value, and the x value won't repeat. So you have to have only one x when we're talking about a series of points, okay? If there's more than one x, let's say x has 2 repeating, that means it's not a function, it's just a relationship. It just makes a graph, and it won't pass your vertical line test, okay? Yep, that's it. So go ahead and complete this problem for g of 2 and come in with your answer tomorrow. And then hopefully you come in with a better understanding of what function is and a better understanding of domain is your x values. And when we're looking at a function, that domain can't repeat. And that's basically the idea behind functions for tonight. Good night.